great to be able to link up like this in such unusual circumstances. How have you been over the last month or so?
I've been great. Um, yeah, trying to come to terms with what's going on in the world, and um, and the reality of not racing for the first time in my life. You know, I've been racing every year um, since I was 8. So this is, quite a shock to the system to go into my 14th year or 14th season and not be competing. So, but taking time to adjust and focus on other things, other areas, time to work on business plans and schedules and strategies, and trying to understand, what's going to be the new norm, and which I'm sure everyone's trying to understand. And again, just trying to stay positive, healthy. It's been a good period of time for my body and mind and soul and spirit. So, but I know there's so many people out there that are struggling, and it's been I've not been on social media a lot either. So, I'm just really trying to pull away from it for a moment, and give it a bit of breathing space. And as I said, just recenter, realign, and make sure that when I get the call that we're going to be racing, I'm ready to go.
I'm sure we're all looking forward to everybody receiving that call. It's such a strange time because we're all very much alone, distant from family, friends, teammates. How are you managing to stay positive and draw energy from people that you usually have around you?
Well, I'm really fortunate. I miss my family. I'm not with my family, and that's definitely not easy, because damn, I wish I could be with my sister and my niece and nephew. I'm sure would have driven me crazy by now, but still, I miss seeing them, as I'm sure many people miss seeing their families. I'm fortunate. I've got Angela with me, so we train together. She's one of my best friends, so I'm really fortunate to get to work with someone so positive and energizing. She literally, every morning you get up, and I'm not very good in the mornings, and she's like, "Hey, morning!" And she's like, she's always beaming with positivity, which is, I think it's important always to have really positive people around you, and so I'm grateful for that. And otherwise, as I said, I'm generally quite good on my own, being that I'm on the road all the time, and it generally is me and Angela traveling everywhere together. I spend a lot of time on my own, so I'm comfortable on my own. I don't feel that I need any additional input from others. Of course, that is nice to see other people and those kind of things, but I'm also just trying to take this time to focus on making sure my body is as strong as it can be. I got hopefully a few more years to push out in Formula One, so I need to make sure that I'm in the best shape I can possibly be.
I can imagine the other 19 drivers on the Formula One grid are sitting at home at the moment thinking, how can I go out and beat Lewis Hamilton this year? Do you take a little bit of that into your preparation while you're training?
I don't think about the other drivers. I hope they're all well. I've been in touch with a couple of them, and we're all in the same boat generally. So, but I don't think of them in terms of inspiration, in terms of like motivation or anything like that. I've never struggled for motivation in the sense of being competitive. All I can do, I can't control what they're doing, and there's no point worrying or thinking about what they may or may not be doing. All I can do is try and focus on, inwards, and try to focus on being the best that I can be. What is my potential? How can I be more positive? How can I have more energy? How can I be healthier? How can I be a better person to be around, a better person to work with? So I think about all these kind of things, and that I message some of the people that I work with and try to get a bit of feedback about that kind of stuff. How can we implement a better way, a better process? How can I help you be better? And that's ultimately, I think that's what it's being a champion and being a team player is all about.
I think we all have days where we sometimes doubt our ability, but I know as a high performance athlete, you often speak about having to really believe in yourself. Is there ever a moment that you have uncertainty about your ability?
No.
And
It's really strange, you know. No, naturally, I have that question and that sometimes that feeling on with other things. You know, I'm not always the most positive person. You know, I try everything, but there's, you know, things you try and you keep failing and you're like, damn, I suck. And, you know, and I could be really negative for a moment and I'm like, no, keep going, keep going. So I still have the willpower to get past that wall that hits me in the face. But when it comes to driving, no, I literally, I've done it my whole life, and that's the thing, it's given me so much confidence. I get in the car, put this helmet on, and I'm able to be whoever I want to be. I can be Superman under that helmet if I want to be, you know. And you know, generally when I was at school, I was relatively, you know, I was bullied at school. I was the little kid, and bullied on by the bigger kids. So I was very, very much within my cocoon or whatever you want to say, you know, in my own space. It's very quiet. But when I get in the car, I was able to put out my elbows and stand up for myself. And then eventually I got confidence. I was able to help, you know, stand up for others that were getting bullied at school, because I went to karate and I got black belt and I could whoop someone's butt, which was amazing. So yeah, but I've never doubted myself I don't doubt myself in the car. I think there was one moment a long time ago when I was in Formula Renault, but I got up and went for like a 14-mile run the next day, and it passed.
Often at the end of a race weekend, drivers would go away and know that they'd made a mistake or they could have been better in certain parts. But when you're having so much success, weekend in, weekend out, how do you know what you need to work on? It's tricky if you're having a lot of success, I would imagine.
No, I think that, I mean, that is an assumption that I think probably everyone puts on everyone that is successful, no matter what sport you're doing. You know, I'm reading up about Michael Jordan right now and the team that he had around him, and you know, his incredible career. You know, for me, greatest of all time, and a few other athletes out there. I think it's naturally much easier to learn. There's more to learn when you have failures. That's really where the growth comes from. The biggest growth comes from. But there are still ways, you've got to find ways of growing from the success. And so, but I think that's much part of our working ethic. You know, we've had wins, come straight back, we do our debrief and we don't skip anything. I've tried to be as critical and positive, you know, positive criticism, both on the car, on the team's performance, but then also on mine. And you've got to be as honest as you can be. So I go away usually, and over the next few days, I'm looking over the race results, I'm looking at data, I'm looking at, because I know in the race where I could have done better. It could be the pit lane entry, it could be exiting the pit box, it could be your qualifying lap not maximizing, it could be mistakes and time you've lost through the race, because ultimately you're always chasing time and you don't like losing time during the race. So there are so many areas and you're chasing for perfection, and so there's not been a single race that's been perfect. There's been times where it's been really close, and it's a great feeling when you feel close, but you're like, it's still not there. So I've got more work to do.
How do you manage your goals year to year then to make sure you're stepping on?
My primary goal is always to win a world championship, is to work and grow with the team and to come with a more fierce, more energized, fitter, more impactful performance as an athlete and as a driver. And but then you get caught up in all the other stuff that comes along with, you know, there's media, there's sponsored appearances, all these different things. So you get caught up in this kind of, it's like, you know, what I imagine a washing machine effect or a wave. You know, when the wave falls and you get in the tumble thing, you know, you don't know what's up, what's down at some stages through the year, because there's, you know, you get pulled left, right, and center. but I think it comes with experience, and there's no substitute for experience. So that's, that's really been, that's a real positive for me today. I feel young. I feel super young right now. I feel like I'm in my 20s still, and probably even more so mentally. I'm still the kid that I was when I was younger. I just have this knowledge that and this experience that I can add to the talent that I had as a kid. So I'm like, damn, if I add that and I work even harder, geez, there's not really a massive limit to where I can go with this.
You're working a lot on staying fit at the moment. How mentally fit are you making sure you're staying? And are there any practices that you might be able to share with us?
Mental health, I know, is such a serious issue worldwide. I struggle with social media because I've got this incredible following, for example, and it's incredible. I never ever thought that I'd have this many people following me, and it's a lot. But social media, though, if you look around, me personally, there's people that are on their social media all day, every day, looking at their phone and forgetting the rest of the world, and not taking time to see a sunset, not taking time to see the beautiful trees or whatever it is, So I'm trying to always find a balance. And mentally, it's really about ultimately feeling good about yourself. It's about finding a way to make sure you love yourself. You have to really be able to love yourself and be comfortable in your own. So I've been really spending time trying to, again, just take time for me, making sure that I appreciate me. I appreciate, acknowledging things that you do well, acknowledging also when you fail and you don't do it so great, it's okay. And not being so hard on yourself, all these different things. I have days I wake up and feel groggy. I don't feel motivated to work out. I don't feel, geez, where are we going? What's next, dude? Should I continue racing? I think all these different things. And then I'm like, damn it. And then there'll be, the next hour, whatever it passes, I'm like, damn, I love what I do. Why would I ever consider not continuing? But as I said, you just got to keep your mind occupied. So reading, I try to read as much as I can. I've been getting into meditation, which is, I'm a fidget. So it's really, really hard to do meditation for me. I'm sitting there and I'm like moving around, and then there's bugs on my arm. And it's really, really hard. But the more and more you do it, like with anything, the better you get at it. And so I think just I think today people see figures who are successful, and they're like, I want that. I want to be, I want to be Drake. I want to be Madonna. I want to be Michael Jordan or Kobe or, a top athlete, whatever it may be. People like that, I want that. But this like that part is this, they just want to be there immediately, but there's all this work that it takes to get there. And so just remembering that and pulling back the layers and remembering you've still got to do all the groundwork. You've got to hustle hard. And if you keep grafting away, you can continue to refine who you are. And I always try and make sure that I try and send positivity in the messages. I don't want to squander the platform that I have. I want to, I want to show pictures of me and my friends, for example, doing normal stuff. But then it's such a powerful tool. I don't want to use it for unimportant stuff. So,
are we going to see a different Lewis Hamilton when we go racing again? An improved version?
Oh, an improved version? I would hope so. I think if you are not improving and growing during these days, then what are we doing? You're obviously just wasting the time sitting on your backside. Nothing's going to get handed to any of us. We've got to go out there and get whatever it is that we want. And you've got to want it more than the person that you're fighting against. And so, you just got to get off your ass and do it. I'm in pretty decent shape, but I could always be in better shape. And I see things and I'm like, damn, I've got a bit of fat here. And I'm like, shoot, I've got to work harder. I've got to go for a run. And in natural reality, I don't really have much fat. But, there's people out there that will have these things going through their minds, and you just got to let go. find what it is you love and say, I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to let anything get in my way. And it might take a long time. You know, people, as I said, people forget. I started racing when I was 8, and I didn't get to Formula 1 until I was 22. So it was a long time for me to get there. And but patience is also very, very important. I do hope to come back better, but you know, we're going to get in the car and we're going to probably have Friday practice, and we're all going to be rusty as hell. So it'll be really interesting to see how we hit the ground running. But I've been on the phone with my team, speaking to Bono, speaking to James, and trying to discuss with them a plan of how I want to arrive. I think we all need to make sure that we arrive utilizing the tools we have, simulations, race simulations. And I probably will get in the simulator, which I don't really always love, but utilizing those tools to make sure that when we come to that first race, we get the ground running and we're ready, as if we've not missed any of these races. I was like, how can we arrive in Austria, if it's Austria, as if that is the, what was it, 7th race or whatever, 8th race, whatever it may be, 9th race? How can we arrive there like we've already done 8 races? That's a real challenge. Not that we're going to be able, I don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but that's a good goal to have.
A fantastic goal to have, and just fantastic words and advice for everyone at this difficult time. Lewis, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
My pleasure.